show for Complexity. I think obviously we're going to get Inferno coming in right now, and if you remember that game in ESL Challenger Yongshiping, that was unbelievable, that game against Aurora. He just took the server by the scruff of the neck. But we're underway. Let's see who takes the server by the scruff of the neck today. It's Complexity on the T side. Elige, Molly, JT, Smoke, Halzerk, Double Flash.
Looking forward to this. Let's get the show on the road. Speaking of, Double Flashes will come out as well to give them some entries in towards B. And we're playing a very passive setup here for MOUZ. We're going to sit back over towards CT. Xerxin spamming through the smoke, but to no avail so far. So a bomb plant should come through here, and it's about this retake. Xerxin felt like he was slightly tempted by jumping around that corner. Pops against it for now, Brolin. Waiting for a fight to come his way. I mean, Complexity, this is a pretty good setup, pretty deep as well. They're holding for those flanks, but it feels like it's all going to come through CT side. Xerxin gets caught early. Floppy off to a great start. More to come around as Elige Lanta. But Infat still makes his presence known with a double. Make that three. Jumping around as he delivers on towards the rafters. But Grim still alive. Still finding heads. And JT scoops up the last. Complexity draw first blood.
I'm actually amazed that Yimpat was the only guy to get the kills there for MOUZ in that situation. And obviously, he made the jump. He made the strafe jump over the corner of the building, obviously, too. And still managed to find one more. That's obviously very risky. And he was a player with the smoke kit as well all that time. So it really shouldn't have been him in that round, technically. But that's just, in the end, a great hold by Grim and JT. Peeking off of each other's contact, making sure no one fights alone. Complexity off to a good start. Those are the sort of rounds, playing together, playing off of each other like they just did there, that we didn't see early doors against Imperial yesterday. They were kind of, especially on the gun rounds, there was a lot of fighting alone, and maybe that's something Complexity have already noticed and tried to fix instantly.
It's true, the spacing did look pretty woeful, didn't it? I think that was something that they got really exposed in, so it's good to see in this situation, it's slightly cleaned up. But it's going to be a little bit of a tentative start for Complexity here, just because they want to avoid a gamble stack, of course. They don't want to walk in towards all five, and unfortunately, that's sort of the direction they're heading in. They do have the firepower to overcome, though. MOUZ haven't gone for an investment, so a pop in towards his A site. I'm going to go forward, does go in towards the team Molly, but Nectar's first. Halzerk, UMP for one, running low on ammo, could be in a bit of trouble. Down he goes, but Grim there to bail him out, and the Mach 10 will find the last again. So 2-0 start for Complexity, already the one casualty. We can't complain, Trav.
Comfort on the start. And of course, what's most interesting about Complexity, of course, having the opportunity to go into Vertigo again, of course. This has been played, Vertigo, in every single series but the major this year between these two teams. And of course, both games in the recent Pro League, and both of them Complexity won 13-8. So it seems to be something that MOUZ can't find the answer on. Of course, if you do a back-to-back, that really proves you're the better team on the map. And
it's true.
I wonder if we're going to see something similar today. They're going to try and fight for ramp early, though. Great catch from Brolin, using the crane angle to stop Elige from making his way up, and maybe being a bit more assertive on that CT side is something MOUZ will try and put into practice.
Yeah, I think Elige, unfortunately for him there, he does get slightly caught by that flash, and also as he's turning, so he's full committed to the back turn, and I think that's an easy one for Brolin to peek into. Floppy, looks like he wants to be the first. He's blind, and he will get it. And Halzerk, I can't believe he stays alive there. 4 points of HP, 1 foot in the grave, but he gets his. Grim will pounce. This is something you've got to keep an eye out throughout this map. Grim on these mid lurks on T side is so effective. The amount of mileage he gets and impact is incredible. And MOUZ already left down to 2, and in this 2 versus 4, Trav, they might even be tempted by a save.
You're right about Grim, and he was even doing that in a losing effort yesterday, of course, wasn't he? Against Imperial, even in tough rounds where it was they were at disadvantages, he was always popping up with that mid-lurk kill. And obviously, as a CT side, in any game of professional Vertigo, that's a possibility. It's one of the most tried and tested spots and plays you can make as a T player to get these lurk kills. Just mid lurk every round. You can flank the B window player, you can flank A. It can happen, and it nearly happens every single round almost, in defaults at least. But sometimes when it's all down to the timings, it just can't be stopped. And Grim gets another one. He's got a 5-0 start. Grim on form in Rio is a massive plus for Complexity.
This is looking very solid. Pistol, Force, and now full buy all converted for Carl. And there is real good foundations to be worked with on this C-side. This is exactly what we want to see, just in comparison to what was yesterday. I mean, that's obviously our immediate thing we're going to look at, which was a pretty tough showing. 6-0 down, then went 6-1, then went 7-1 down. I mean, they really felt that pressure. So the fact that we're already out the gates, completely rectifying these issues, is exactly what we want to be seeing here, MOUZ. They've got a slight investment around those 2 save them 4s. A 5-7 double deagle. Small bit of Utah, but already one wire rifle drop. The second will swing in, and Zurchin will make his presence known. So Harley's Comrade 4s, he at least gets something with it.
Still a risk in this round for Complexity. They've been fallible to some of these low buys. Always a bit of a heartbreaker for the North American fans when they think their team are in pole position, suddenly get caught by a half investment and get drawn back into a closer game. I haven't seen some of those in some of the biggest events of the year, sadly, for Complexity. But this one should be all good.
Yeah.
Exertions is next to Yimpat, just Yimpat trying to play, protect the VIP, perhaps trying to bait in Exertion for a kill. Legion still holding bottom ramp completely safely. They might go searching toward that position for maybe a gun, Grim's weapon. That's what they're going to look for now. Impact has now been found, and Exertion actually doesn't swing straight away off the back of it and almost gets caught by that. Thankfully manages to grab that kill either way. Obviously it takes a lot of damage for it though. We'll push down toward the bottom of the ramp, try and pick up a few extra bits and pieces, but doesn't get what he wanted really. And now JT probably should catch him. It's a very tight angle. Does he check it? Oh, him being so low was the main issue. JT will find it. Nothing to save for MOUZ. This is the start Complexity would have wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And like you touched on rightfully, I think for Complexity, one of the things that's been an issue for them has been against the slightly lesser buys. That time, clean. Take it with ease, not losing too many bodies. That's exactly what you want to see. We always talk about building up foundations, building up kind of money in arrears as well. And we're seeing all of that at the moment. There's a lot to like from Complexity out the gates here in towards this elimination game. And MOUZ still looking slightly fallible. Looks like there might be a slight tech issue. I'm looking, seeing young Jimmy over there. He's got headphones off. So it looks like maybe a little in-ears, if I had to guess. But a moment for us to have a little conversation. And I guess a respite as well for MOUZ. It's been tough, Trav. They're not looking too comfortable at the moment. I wouldn't even mind seeing a tack pause as well after the back of this tech pause, because you can't have too much of a conversation, or any conversation here really, in this tech pause. I wouldn't mind getting Cyclone on the mic early. It may be seen as very early in this situation, but I mean, already Complexity look very, very strong. You don't want to let them snowball to build up a real wealth of a first half.
And when it comes to MOUZ, right, I mean, the thing is they've just like raised everyone's expectations for this roster in terms of their results earlier in the year. They're making consistent semi-finals at LAN events, right? Showing a little bit better form in maybe some of those arena events too, because previously that was their big criticism. But now they've fallen off a little bit more to not even be able to get to that place once again to prove if they can really do it there. And that's a shame because, I feel like the scene needs that sort of situation, right? They need another team to be alongside the likes of Vitality and Na'Vi, because those are really the two true S-tier teams right now. Like you saw with G2 today, right? Like G2, sure, they won the previous event, but it's the consistency that's the issue.
Yeah, and just touch on G2, Nico, lowest rated event ever, 0.53. For those who missed that game against Sun on Fire as well, worth going to check out. Santares looked incredible, really stepped up to the plate in that one. But unfortunately, G2, the woes were there, that is for damn sure. And I think, that's probably more akin to, I think, what a lot of people expect of that G2 roster, rather than the previous event before this with the silverware. So it is an interesting time for G2, because even when we look back to kind of the Hooksy days, and we look back to just the G2s of old, it was always a kind of a thing where for G2 underperformed probably to the caliber of players they've got on that team. Arguably one of the best Counter-Strike players we've seen in CS2, maybe even the best Counter-Strike player we've seen in CS2 with Monacy, one of the best riflers of all time as well. And still, this team, silverware is so here and there, and every tournament is so hit and miss. Sometimes you get, you know, the silverware G2, and then other times, I mean, the prime example of this tournament and the last tournament exactly shows kind of how G2 are so up and down. And I think with G2, that's the big thing they've been trying to plug for such a long time. And it feels like with Snacks at the moment, we're still not there.
It's one of the hardest things to do at this level of Counter-Strike is to just make consistent finals. I mean, you know, after FaZe did it, when CS2 kind of really came into the forefront of all the professional tournaments, like, they were unbelievable, made consistent finals, and, you know, rewarded by the fact they stuck together as a unit as well, right? It deserves to be mentioned, rather than making any roster changes. But, you know, after that streak had kind of finished, Rops spoke about burnout. I'm sure that's going to happen to Na'Vi at some point, right? Like, they're going to get eliminated in one of these events and not make a final. I'm not saying it's going to be this one. They're still looking good, but you know, just inevitably, good things have to come to an end. And in this scene, where events move past very quickly, burnout can be very easy to come by with all the travel that has to come through as well. But anyway, tech pause has been figured out. We can stop waffling and we can talk about the game instead. The important things in front of your very eyes right now. Complexity back on the bike alongside MOUZ's, and Torji's got his AWP out.
Shuhei up close. Knee breaks open the smoke leash for one, but Shuhei will pounce in for the trade as well as Torzi delivers with a quick AWP shot, and that'll take ramp control. Floppy gonna try and move up here with JT, but they're met with a smoke, and he might just try and utilize that for a bit of space, and it will work. Yimfat caught off guard. You know, we saw the problems anchoring a little bit yesterday, and then we see it once again. Bersertion there to try and bail them out. He takes a lot of damage, and he is down low. And even blind, he nearly converts on towards Floppy. 2 versus 2. Floppy, Shuhei, both low. And this round feels like it's won or lost off the back of Grim and Torji in this spot. 2 kills for Floppy already. 1 apiece for Torji and Shuhei, and a smoke to meet them in towards CT as well. Already looking for 1. Damage dealt. Torji now low. Spammer on the smoke as well. Floppy getting mighty close. They don't have the util. If they had a nade, they'd probably get both hit. Sticking around a little bit, Shuhei. Gonna have a little look in. I thought you were right that they are gonna go for a save, but other ideas. Spotted. Shuhei spamming. Can't quite find it. Second time of asking. Grim will deliver. Tap on towards the bomb. Not a stick as well. He goes on high. And Torzi delivers. Quick flick and a find. And just enough time to get that bomb defused. MOUZ find their first.
Oh, I thought for sure they were going to call it off. And all that damage was done. They were sort of dawdling around CT. I was thinking they're just talking about whether they want to just save here, because that would be really bad to lose the AWP straight away. Torji on 3 HP manages to hit the flick. So impressive. And Grim, he's been unbelievable to start this game once again, but a little bit of an oversight, and MOUZ know how big that round is. That could have got away from them so easily, and probably should have. Grim didn't even misplay the situation, I don't think. Great work from Torji. Huge for MOUZ to get some handlehold on the CT side and get some, I guess, vibes going in the team as well. Get some shouting, get some come-ons, all those sort of bits and pieces that gets them up and running. But they need to compound it right here, because of course they only won that round with Torji alive. Yeah,
it can't just be a flash in the pan for MOUZ. That arguably might hurt them more than it'll benefit that previous round win, right? And I think that's where we have to be a little bit careful. It's good to see them, right, find a round like that, and in a tough retake as well. You know, even going into it with how low Shuhei was, to convert that is very, very impressive. And now it's about if we can start getting the all-important word, right, consistency. Maybe there might be something to work with. Torji holding Horzerk. I don't know if we want to peek this. He's tempted to start contacting his way around. It could be dicey. He spotted one. He spots another as well. At the same time as he's moving, they're starting to try and maneuver up in towards B. The spam is getting mighty close, but Yimfat delivers for a double. That's huge. And he might still be able to help out for that third. Desertion will deliver as well. He gets traded. 3 versus 2, it's still potentially on, can't count them out. Oh. How much damage especially has been done towards Brolin, tapping away, and it's not to be. All down to the AWP. Horzerk's got to go huge, and he can't even deliver on the first. Good round. Once again, I think Yimfat steps up in a big way. And he's going to be so integral for MOUZ, because, you know, the way Vertigo is these days, obviously, with that massive hole in elevator now, it's like teams are not really wanting to go toward A as much, at least on average. A is a lot harder with so much more utility you have to put into place to block off those sight lines. Yimpat is going to have a lot of work to come on B, I feel like. And as we know, he's one of the best anchors in the world, if not the best anchor in the world this year. So
Yeah, it's important for him to deliver for MOUZ's sake on Vertigo. Complexity turning up the pace though in the following round, and JT will take down his counterpart. Elige deals with Brolin too. Takes a lot of damage, but he could easily find the AWPer of Torji. And he gets caught out in somewhat no man's land. 4v2 straight away. Complexity's pace change works brilliantly.
Yeah, I love the dynamic tempo coming through. Yimfat on high. Molotov waiting. He spots him, but no, Elige isn't aware. He's slightly tunnel vision in towards that lower angle. It'll come over and a good chunk of damage on towards Floppy too, but this ain't easy. And there might even be a temptation as time starts to tick and the seeds of doubt get sown in, then they might even just call this one off. And it looks like they will. Pulling it back for that save. And it will be Complexity putting another round on the board. Really great work. JT and Elige combine brilliantly in that spot just to give them so much early ramp control. And they just don't give MOUZ a moment of respite. That's exactly what we want to see. So a good round all the same. And yeah, 5 already taken on the seaside. Trav, I'm still liking what I'm seeing out from Cole.
I feel like MOUZ weren't ready for that call whatsoever, right? I mean, the fact that a kill comes through immediately on the push-up ramp, and then Torji's kind of caught, like, do I play ahead of the elevator smoke? Do I fight for my life? Do I try and get one and fall away? Like, he doesn't know exactly what he wants to do, because obviously they're in a disadvantage in this situation, so he wants to fight. And then Elige finds him comfortably, and Yimpat, of course, they know he's the B player. Rotating in is always going to be Heaven or CT, and if the big flank's covered, then there's no risk. That's a really important fifth with Complexity, and MOUZ, they've got some money to work with thanks to that save, but Floppy, that's a great shot on Shui above that B stairs smoke. Good catch, but at least the impact was there once again. I've watched the impact do some devious things on the B side of Vertigo, even dating back to his MOUZ NXT days on the Academy roster. Seen so many ridiculous holds from him in basically every single position on that site. So that's what I want to see more of.
The shadow might pop out. Oh, it's laboured from Elige. Thankfully not the same for Grim. So kept it a 3 versus 3. Arguably now in this situation, as it all resets and the tempo slows right down, you generally say that trades benefit the T side in this spot. JT making a move up through top now. Torji holding for him. Tough angle as well. But it's messy. Brolin gets one. And at the same time, Torji's still here, still waiting for that fight to come his way. Torji's so low. JT isn't exactly healthy, but you would assume the advantage goes in favor of JT here. There's one. Will he expect Yimfat as well just around this corner is the question. Yimfat holding for him. He's tapping away to try and bait in an engagement, but it's Brolin who also steps up to the plate. Grim gets caught and MOUZ onto right back.
That's really big from Brolin there, making sure he just takes the attention away. Yimpat, and then when Yimpat does that, Brolin realizes he can peek safely. That's a good catch. Especially a good recovery after they lost the opening kill in the round as well. I actually saw that a number of times the other day. MOUZ, I think, had 7 opening kills or something like that, and only managed to get 3 rounds in the half. It's been rough for these conversions sometimes for them. And now, Complexity are the ones on low economy. Look at what Hulzerk's brought up in this one. He's got a deagle, no armor, and just some nades. And that is a dirty... Goodness me.
Yeah.
That double nade is just... Has that ruined their plans 20 seconds into the round already?
It might. JT, how's the mid-round adjustment looking now, right? I mean, this is definitely going to throw a spanner in the works. They even make, like, Torji on that MP9 just so scary now, especially the fact that he's going up close.
Oh, man. That's so painful for Floppy and JT. Especially on this, what is last buy before they'd have to eco. Using all the utility they have. Now they've only got 1 smoke left on Elige. He's going to have to take point. Torji close, as you say. Hulzerk is trying to take some space toward A and perhaps sell a little bit of a ruse. But Elige is not going to get anyone peeking him anytime soon, it feels like.
What is happening? It's all down to what Torji can get here. To be perfectly honest, he still hasn't shown any presence. The longer he stays here, the more he might get overlooked like that, for example. There's one, looking for 2, 3, might be on the cards as well. He's getting hungry, maybe a little bit greedy for it as Grim also pounds. He makes that move through mid. We highlighted this. Keep an eye out for Grim on these mid lurks. And somehow this round has flipped. Brolin left all alone, and Horzerk deletes him. Head ripped off his shoulders. And that is a massive response coming through from Complexity. I can't believe they get away with that round.
You called out JT's, what's his mid-round, but I think the mid-round is just pause. Yeah. And you know what? It works brilliantly because it sells us, it sows the seed of doubt in the brains of MOUZ. And then as soon as they get Grim into a position where he can do something on the flank, that's when they burst. And even though Torji gets a couple, I've got to give huge props to JT. He was low HP from the very first 15 seconds of the round. He doesn't just get two, he gets the trade through the plywood as well onto Torji. All the kills really thanks to JT, but it's Grim who puts a little cherry on top of it. The eco is going to be a little bit messy. Yimpat's got two with the P250. I thought the trades were going their way, but then Yimpat pops up. Elige versus Exertion, 5-7, no armor. He's taking the heads-up duel, and now he's been spotted. How on earth does Exertion win this one? He's going to play the long game. Bomb still on ramp, and Exertion will know that. He'll see the dot on the minimap and will realize that Elige is not carrying the bomb. So he's going to play the long game and try and make Elige think.
Okay, Elige, Molly, Smoke, Flash, and an AK. 1 versus 1. Xertion, 5-7, no armor, and Elige playing the patience game. He's playing quiet. He doesn't want to give away the runes. He's stuck around towards A. It's all about timing on this peak. Xertion, he's not quite holding for this, but he might just get the drop. Oh no, it's an oversight. He's not going to look that way. Xertion should get the kill. Ow, have MOUZ taken that round head in hands for Elige, but that is the feeling across the board for Complexity. They have just been ecoed, and Yimfa, that double with a P250 is absolutely monumental.
What did we say about Complexity against the ecos, man? Like, so far we've been a bit lucky with our predictions, but you know what? It comes from past experience, I'm afraid. Oh no, Complexity. I gotta give huge props to Exertion, because look at that position he puts himself in. That's a corner that is probably the most unchecked corner on this version of Vertigo. Since they added the catwalk on the outside skirts of the A-bomb site, that's a position you can put yourself in Heaven where, if someone does walk through the catwalk, when are you ever going to check that cubby next to Heaven? You're going to look at Heaven and the CT position first.
Exactly.
That's such a smart position from Exertion to put himself there, and it really pays off. That could be huge, because look what it's done to the money. The opposite way round. We mentioned MOUZ's economy was low. Complexity have built up no money at all, of course. Now they're the ones down to pistols. Can you believe it?
Nice reposition, nice spam from Xertion too. Back white, goes towards double stack, doesn't spot anything, so just gives a little brief check over towards Rafters and gets his Brolin. He should be fine here, at range, got the advantage with the M4, and himself and Shuhei can tap down for one apiece. Horzerk, you say no chance, and that'll be the case. Flawless round going to come through. 5-6, Trav. We're on the brink for an even half here, which most definitely didn't feel like the case off the back of how well Complexity started.
I know. This should have been a T lead, I feel like, for Complexity. It could still be, but we need this final gun round. I think Complexity might have nightmares about that corner now toward Heaven. They might be checking it every single time they play Vertigo from here on in, I feel like. That stops them from getting a decent lead on the half, which it pretty much has. Painful. And in the following gun round, utility is all right. They have enough. 2 mollies, 2 smokes, actually 3 in total, but only 1 flash. That's going to be such an important flash for Horzerk, and now it's on the ground already, and look at the MOUZ pinch. Brolin, Exertion, and Torji all grab 1, and Floppy and Grim are left wandering back to the opposite side of the map.
MOUZ, what a recovery. What a recovery from them. Smoke going to come down over towards Elevator too, just to completely nullify any sort of A presence. They'll go towards B, and actually there is nobody here. I mean, Yinfat's doubling back, but he's going to lose this foot race. So he might actually just wait for numbers. Even if they get a bomb plant, it is the ultimate thing of who cares. Yeah, there'll be a clock above the head of MOUZ, but they've just got the numbers. Play for the trade. Play. It's 2v4 and it should be fine. Yimfact gets the first as Grim just walks straight into his demise. And Fluffy will also fall as well. What a recovery out from MOUZ. They looked like they were potentially dead on arrival heading in towards Vertigo, but they've responded well. An eco round taken. And Trav, we've got a game on our hands here.
Absolutely. I'm delighted, really, for MOUZ, because I wanted to see a close game between these two. I think we absolutely deserved it. And there's so many rounds you can look back at for MOUZ here. I mean, that little no-scope there, little quick scope from Torji to retake on 3 HP, that was an unlikely round. Sure, Complexity had some unlikely ones too, with JT spammed through the plywood, but I think the eco will be the most painful one for Complexity. MOUZ are back in it. See you in a moment.
Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. I don't want anybody else but you. 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 I need anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. I don't want anybody else but you. I need anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. I need anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. I need anybody else but you. Anybody else but you. I don't want anybody else but you. I need anybody else but you. Anybody else but you.
Honours even at half between MOUZ and Complexity in the battle to stay in Intel Extreme Masters Rio, and MOUZ will be delighted in that end of that first half because they look nowhere to begin.
Yeah, it's very true. It was not looking comfortable in the way things started out for MOUZ, but, you know, we touched on it right at the tail end of that half. That recovery is actually quite spectacular. They take a pistol round now, and, you know, Complexity can be feeling a hell of a lot of pressure. That is not the decision of all time. Xerxin absolutely destroys him, and Brolin will also add another to his tally. Yimfact had a great game. Xerxin's had his moments as well. These two are really ramping up, especially considering, you know, we highlighted two in particular. Elige, Xerxin, I guess by their standards and comparatively to yesterday, Trav, they've actually been a little bit quiet.
I don't think there'll be any reason to panic just yet, but I think it's kind of what this game kind of shows. Often, of course, this year it's gone to 3 maps. It's only really Pro League where it was really Complexity all over. Of course, it went to 3 at Dallas, went to 3 at Pro League Season 19. MOUZ had the better of them in Cologne, but it was a close game, 13-11, 13-9. And, well, these Glock headshots are proving to be devious. All's trying his best, but it's absolutely a wipeout. Look at that. A team ace. I'm pretty sure all 5 of those kills were headshots. The mood in the camp is up, and the way Exertion started that round against Elige, I mean, that was... What can poor Elige do there? Nothing is the answer.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this POV as well. Yeah, just 2-tap. It's absolutely stunning. And I like that from Brolin as well, right? He gets a kill in towards top ladder and immediately dips away because he's expecting some level of kind of mid-re-aggression to come back to him. And he just plays that timing perfectly. So for MOUZ, take a lead. They should be able to double it down as well, considering that the investment is minimal over towards Colt. And not opting for that CT force by Shuhei will tick a little bit in the molly, but he makes up for it with a very healthy grenade on towards some unarmored players. But Elige, that P2K will get one. And Mach 10 picked up. Not saying it's on, but might be potential for a little bit more damage here. Potentially more expensive than MOUZ would have wanted. CT smoke will come over. Elige, he does slip the net for a second, but he just doesn't have the health or the armor to work with. So one by one, fight by fight. They do get dropped there, and Cole left all down to Floppy. USPS, it's unlikely. Maybe, if he's lucky, gets the drop on one, but even that feels like a big ask. Seen off, I think, in just a second. He's somehow still alive, and Georgie dropping down will confirm it. MOUZ, 2-round lead. Trav, this is getting very interesting, because if MOUZ take this map, it does definitely throw a bit of a spanner in the works of probably Complexity's map plan.
Oh, MOUZ certainly have a plan. Look at that sheet of paper that Shuri had in front of him there. Sometimes it's just an extra layer of how impressive professional players can be. You can look at a massive long document like that and be like, ah, yes, this is the round we do this is the round we do that. I mean, my brain would just be a bit fried in general. It's like being an IGL in Counter-Strike is a bit like being a Formula 1 driver. You got so many buttons to press on your steering wheel to know what's next in certain scenarios, and yeah, it's that MOUZ plan is looking good right now. Here's his first gunman. We're going quicker in toward B. Oh, the entry from Exertion will not work this time, but Floppy's out of ammunition. He needs support quickly. Thankfully, that smoke will help out. It will get blown open, but Elige is here in time. Great shot from Shui against his counterpart JT, but there's 2 players for Complexity stuck on Gen, and Shui should go down. He absolutely will, but now it's Yimpact's turn. He knows all the angles on this B site, but great flash. Floppy's still alive somehow, but should go down. Does go down. 2v2.
Yimfact playing up close. Elige waiting for his time in this smoke as well. It gets all eerie as the bomb does get confirmed. Brolin going to join him over towards Gen. I think want to play this as well. Smoke down. Yimfact somehow gets away with that. And he will actually be able to activate on towards one, surely. No, it's Scrappy as Elige is still alive. 1 versus 1 now against Brolin, as Brolin will tuck his head up close. Pop flash. Oh no, smoke even as he jumps round, but it will just be to his demise. And the corpse falls 51 floors down. MOUZ, in the same vein that Complexity did, pistol, the conversion, and now the first gun round too. This is exactly how you want to kickstart this T side.
And Shui looks locked in, doesn't he? I mean, he's got the yelling going as well, trying to get into the minds of Complexity. And yeah, that is a round that I think Elige definitely had a chance in, but well, that smoke just lasts so long, of course, in CT that he was kind of forced into going for the strafe jump around the building. Sure. And nothing you can do about that. Again, we have one of these rounds here for Complexity where they give themselves a chance at winning it with Elige's Hero M4. He has fully purchased, but oh my word, they've burned in the last ebbs of that molly down to a combined 43 health. That's so awkward.
Elige.
Oh, and he fell off the boost too.
Yeah, and then also dies to a nade.
Oh no.
Going from bad to worse, unfortunately. Elige baited a guaranteed kill, but he just slips off. And speaking of slipping, the net. Oh, Exertion, hello. A little bit funky there. Looked like a mouse jump or something. He'll get it. Second time of asking, and he looks for more as well. This is a little scrappy. Grim will also fall as well. And now all the kills are just being plugged into place. There was a brief moment there that it looked a little uncomfortable, but thankfully they're all confirmed. Floppy, 5-7, half armor. Let's be honest, Trav, this ain't happening.
Yeah, just trying to grab a gun would be nice. But I don't think that's going to be very likely, if I'm honest. So, as I mentioned, with that investment from Complexity, we see it quite often. You put one player on a weapon and they're just happy to take the hit in the following gun round. Of course, everyone but Elige can buy. Elige will be on an MP9, and there's a good chance JT just gives him the M4 anyway and takes the MP9 for himself. We saw great work from JT on the MP9 the other day on Vertigo, winning a couple of rounds single-handedly with the SMG. As you can see, everyone but Elige has a purchase, so they probably will swap the MP9s between JT and Elige, get the M4 on the star player. That's a little spray from Exertion there. Looked weird. I think maybe been a little bit of, I guess, lag on the observer feed perhaps, because it didn't look exactly right with the way those sprays were going down.
Big moment for TC here, right? He has to rally the troops, and you can sort of see it's a very muted complexity over there that you can maybe argue locked in, but it does look like potentially quite concerned too. Vibes aren't all there for the Cole side. They obviously got fired up yesterday in that third map, and they really did find that form throughout the series, but Vertigo had his weaknesses yesterday, and it's obviously looking like it's the same case now. I mean, Cycro mentioned it. I brought it up in the pre-show. This is a complexity side who are one of the few teams who have actually looked consistent on this map, and one of the few teams at the tier 1 level who've looked consistent most of the way throughout this year. But maybe it's got to a point where, unfortunately, they're kind of getting read into now. They're getting understood, and people are figuring out this is the way we break them down, and the counter-stratting is forcing Cole to try and adapt, and they just don't have the plays for it. Not at the moment. Exertion, already up close. Orb, Horzuk, trained on the angle as well. He's looking to the lower position, but a quick flick will find Exertion with the first to fall. That's the opener that Cole needed, and there's no trade behind it too, so that's perfect.
Yeah, important. Really important. Of course, that's the life of Exertion, being often the entry. Little boost for Elige. It works this time. He gets his one and drops away, and that's Torji to drop as well. Complexity changing up their setups. It's very risky to have that AWP on the double stack position, on the elevated position.
Yeah.
You miss one, you're doomed, whatever you do. Even if you drop toward the catwalk now, you should get caught before you manage to do that. So Complexity have something to work with here. Again, leaving B somewhat as a site to retake. Floppy will now go back to check, as he obviously has to and so often does. He needs at least a 1-for-1 Floppy if they decide to burst now, MOUZ, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. But his site mate JT has been removed. It's a wonderful entry from Brolin. He's looking for more. Oh, almost a transfer onto Elige as well. Imagine if that came through. Great nade onto default. The impact down to 38 HP, but a return damage on Elige and Grim. Elige's actually going to pick up the AWP now instead to at least make it maybe a bit easier for him. Get Horzuk on the rifle. They're up close as well. MOUZ with Shui and Yimpat. Grim waiting to pounce from window. They can now go in together. Elige will take first point on low HP. They need to trade it, but they're going to line up. And then Shui peeks off of Yimpat's contact. It's perfect from MOUZ. A 3v5. Complexity will be ruining these mistakes.
Yeah, what a setup as well. Just that close contact position. They know with that CT smoke that they can just sit in and behind it and kind of bait those fights in towards their favor, and they do excellently. I mean, it has to be said, just Shuhei waiting for the time on the trade there is excellent, but it's Yimpat for the 2, right? That's what nails that round in his favor. Elige, fair enough, he's low, but it's got to be an instant trade there from Horzuk, and unfortunately, it's not. 11-6. MOUZ now just 2 rounds away from stealing Complexity's map pick away in their favor and opening up this series. Cole then go 1 map away from elimination here in Rio. The buy is, it's haphazardly is the way I'll put it. Triple MP9, FAMAS, 1 premium rifle. Not exactly the sort of investment you want, and it's sort of the all-in call, if I'm being honest here, Trav. Oh, spam going to come through, Floppy going to get caught. If we lose this, Cole, surely we're dead here.
Yeah, maybe some of those, mistakes and maybe just poor rounds in general we saw against Imperial yesterday was actually an indictment on what we'd see today. It's a surprise, don't get me wrong. You mentioned how Complexity is so comfortable to go toward Vertigo, even though it's a map most pros hate. If you're good on it, you've got to play it. And it's just not looked that good today, I'm afraid. It's that 5v3, which I think is the backbreaker, honestly, that they've let slip. They're going to be working their way up toward A here, MOUZ, at least with a couple of players. They're going to now team up together. The FAMAS of Horzuk stuck on sandbags, and there are multiple mollies to remove that position. Torji will use one of them. When does Brolin use his? surely Halsek doesn't go unchecked on sandbags at this stage of the round. 25 seconds. It is very late to be here, but they're not using that molly in this position right now. I am nervous for MOUZ, but how many can Halsek get with only a FAMAS? He reacts for 1, needs 2, gets 2, even 3 and 4. Halsek from sandbags. How have MOUZ overlooked it? It's Shui 1 versus 4. He'll get caught by JT's MP9. I can't believe that.
Oh, heroics from Halsek there. That is beautiful, and just a complete oversight in that round. They gift him 4. He never really should have even got away with the second, never mind the third and the fourth behind it, but brilliant. The first, fair enough, but then Broden late to react. Zertian poor on the trade, and Yinfa just absolutely zoned out, caught pants around his ankles and left scratching his head. Oh, that is a great round from Halsek, but a bad one for MOUZ to lose. So still showing there is a couple of gaps left in the armor. Nice nades early too. Yinfa takes an early tag, but Shuhei really dealt a fair chunk of damage. He'll still sit up close in that smoke and hasn't fully been cleared yet as well. His presence starting to be shown over towards that B side. JT, what have you got for us? We're going to lead by example here. The IGL gets clipped early. Torzi, great find. There's more surely to follow is Floppy. He'll sit up close as well. He gets his. Looking for a second. Can't quite deliver as Yinfa will get caught, but Grim and Halsek are combining and the trades are looking favourable towards Cole.
Hello. Shui. Oh, that's so awkward though. Halsek didn't show his entire body. That's so frustrating for Shuri, man. He's got the perfect flank to maybe make this round winnable, and it still somewhat is. He's got control toward A. The bomber's rotating in on the back of Brolin. This is still doable. Shui can play close to that smoke as well. This is a decent off angle, and he can call Brolin forward to peek with him. Grim is 2 HP. Sure. Complexity can take their time. There are kits available. There's a smoke on Halsek and a Liege. And now Brolin, he's going to make his move. He should find Grim, but whether he finds more is the question. It's Shui to get that kill, and that's going to take the attention away. Brolin, trigger discipline, great first tap, but he tries to play time. He tries to strafe away, and he won't be allowed to. Elige will get the defuse. Complexity are back in this game.
Yeah, they're staying alive. They're fighting tooth and nail to chip away at this deficit, and my God, are they doing a decent job of it. Questionable rounds come forward now as well for MOUZ in terms of what their investment's going to look like. We have to consider, do they actually even half buy this and full buy next? Because while some are wielding 4.5 grand sort of to work with, there's a couple who are stuck in around 2k. So yeah, we might just see a bit of a half investment. That looks like it's going to be the case. Torji, Brolin, double Galil for them. Yinfa going towards a Tech 9. Zertian not even going to go for an investment as Shuhei also picks up a Tech 9 himself. Not the most bountiful of buys, but definitely also one you can't sleep on as well. These CS2 Tech 9s, man, they can be seriously scary.
Yeah, you got to be careful here, Complexity. They've already lost to one even worse eco than this, of course, on T side. So this is the opportunity. Grim does well, gets one, now no reason to peek for any more. Shui down low. Torji will manage to find JT, but he's down to 4 HP off the back of it. Oh my God, Floppy. If he got caught out there, he would have been beside himself, but he's okay. And now it looks a bit safer for Complexity. Swings and roundabouts in Counter-Strike, man. That's why we love this game. When MOUZ won that 3v5, we thought for sure they were headed toward the win. Then Complexity win an unlikely round themselves, thanks to magic from Halsek. Hang on! Halsek might be doing more. Another lovely couple of kills, 3 in the round. And now it's very much game on.
Yeah, it is. Attack pulls going to be called here as well as Cyclone going to get on the mic. You know, MOUZ are getting so close to closing out this map and drawing first blood in the series, and spanning the works here. This is an interesting position that we put ourselves in with a buy coming through for MOUZ. Of course, as expected with a half buy in the round prior, it once again puts this sort of notion up for us that if we lose this here, MOUZ, economy broken, Complexity get a clear path to tying up this game, if not even maybe taking a lead. This one still feels like it has some legs behind it. So we're looking towards Cyclone and Shuhei in the rounds. They've got to find a way to break down this Complexity side. The start was a little slow, wasn't it? Right, but now they are really, really firing.
When was the last time we saw any player in a professional match get 4 from sandbags with a FAMAS, by the way?
Genuinely, probably
ever.
like an epic LAN against Silvers. That's probably about it, really. In fact, we'll get the first
Good answer. Good answer.
drive-by on towards Floppy. Yeah, you never get the luxury like that. So
I know.
I can't remember.
It's changed the game. It's changed the game.
It did.
Again.
It did. It absolutely did. It completely flipped the momentum, didn't it? Because MOUZ were well on track to closing this out and actually closing out quite dominantly. It was looking like we could have even seen like a 13-6 or something along those lines. And well, look where we are now. Floppy will fall, though, early. And the fact that Yinfa isn't traded and actually is still relatively healthy, this is okay. They can play this as a numbers advantage. Ali trying to get proactive. I don't hate this decision as well. When you haven't got the numbers in your favor, you sort of have to do something. But Torzi just does his due diligence. He holds, he waits, and he finds as well, delivering for a kill of his own to bring it down to 3. And now Grim, he's going to join up with JT, but also sort of relinquishes mid-control in that sense. And it gives MOUZ time and space to scale up. JT didn't realize he was exposed. They've got to expect someone else here as well as Grim up close. The shadow spotted a Halls exertion. Maybe goes a little early. The panic, thankfully, doesn't cost him his life. Last man of Grim seen off a flawless round for MOUZ. And a team ace once again, just like the pistol, puts them on map point.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, that is so big for MOUZ. They just completely took control of the map there across the entirety of it. Floppy goes for his peak with a bit of, flash support, gets deleted immediately, and then once that mid-pinch comes through, it's very frustrating for JT, sure, but that smoke is not favorable for him whatsoever. The way they get caught there is unfortunate, but MOUZ will be delighted to at least lock in overtime, and they've got 3 chances to get this one done. And as soon as you say, when Elige had to go searching toward the bottom of ramp for a kill back, that's when you know you're up against it.
It's true. I like the idea. I don't think the idea around it's bad, right? I just think the execution, unfortunately, didn't work in their favor. I think when you're down to 4 like that, you have to do something. You can't just sit by idly because, as we always say, the numbers game will win out, and it always comes true. So that's the way you bring it back in your favor, but it just wasn't to be in that instance. So after what potentially could be the final attack pause, that TC gets the call. He gets a moment to converse. JT Floppy wielding MP9s and force support as well. And Xerxin looking like he's going to be first contact here. Swing and a near find as well. Elige has a lot of damage towards Xerxin. Takes a bit of a chunk of a nade himself, but it's Xerxin who comes worse for wear.
Shui has crept up through gap as well, silently. There's a chance this could be the key to this map. Great positioning from Halzuk though. Corner of the site. Makes himself as hard to headshot as possible, and Shui was not expecting that one. Big opening kill. And Exertion, as you say, was low. They try the boost again, and it works again. Elige finding that all-important first, but he can't find that second. A bit whiffy on toward Torji. And Halzuk goes searching for that one too. Maybe that's ill-advised. They wanted to double push gap. It's so common on Vertigo, but now it's back into a 3v3.
Torji, low. Grim taking a bit of damage, but will Brolin do his clearance? Not effectively enough. And Torji on the other side of Yellow Top. There is an MP9 as Grim goes for 2. Oh, Grim, what a time for him to step up to the plate. They can't make it the third. Torji, surely not the ace. Not with 11 points of HP. That would be a miracle of a way to see it off. And he's not just yet pressured for time. 30 seconds left on the clock, but that bomb is dropped, and it's a tough position to try and recover from. A double MP9, just one bullet from them would be enough. So he's got to be crisp as all hell. This crossfire is pretty strong, and Floppy sees it off. They survive. A brief scare. Complexity, find double digits. Not dead just yet, Trav.
Complexity realize the only way they can lose that round is if they run at him. Even with the MP9 special, they stock solid in the crossfire. They do exactly that. Don't move a muscle, knowing the bomb's down. All's good. Torji again doing God's work really in this map. Up to 20 kills as we saw. A triple to try and save them, but not this time. Still, Complexity stay up. Of course, MOUZ will have another buy in return, as you can see. The impact maybe will have to deal with the Galil going by that money. 3.3. MOUZ will want to do their best to avoid overtime. Of course, quick reminder, These two teams played in the most recent Pro League. Complexity won that game twice in a row, 2-0. They played Vertigo in both those two games, and Complexity won 13-8. This is already a big improvement from MOUZ.
It is. Absolutely. Job not done just yet, of course, but they're so close. Just that final hurdle they've got to see off. Something that sometimes can elude teams as well. When you get to 12, you can take your foot off the gas and allows opportunities. Elige is going to play up close here. Shuhei waiting as well. Elige. It's all about who spots who first. That smoke going to dissipate in just a moment. The lineup is excellent. Shuhei didn't even know what hit him before he was dropped. Smoke broken open. Insertion starts to make a move. This round going to be won from just 4. And they have no idea of the numbers here over towards ramp. Holzerk with a flash. It is absolutely perfect for 1, but maybe sticks around, gets a little greedy and gets traded out. So still an opportunity as MOUZ continue to scale up in towards ramp here. They've got decent control. Flash over towards sandbags, but we're not committing here, Trav.
That was a bit rough from Holzerk there. Not as warm as we've seen some of his A1S sprays in this event thus far. And look at the positioning of Complexity right now. You've got 3 players clearing out A. This is exactly what you need to do. Sure, it's now only 2, but you need intel. Even in a 4 versus 3, you need information. Otherwise, Floppy is on the island, and he might still be on this island, looking to fight his way out. Behind Big Box. White Box swing, gets his 1. That's okay, because Elige is here in time. Great first. Ooh, flash assist for the second. A little bit of an MVP flash there from Grim. And Complexity are 1 away from extra rounds.
Yeah, okay. We potentially might be needing that overtime. I think Money's going to be a little wrecked as well over towards MOUZ, especially without that bomb plant too, and just not enough kills. Ramp control was excellent. Grim's flashed it right at the end was beautiful. It facilitates Elige for this double. And yeah, I'm interested to see what the investment's looking like for MOUZ. If I'm right in saying it's not going to be healthy. Yimfa on a Galil. And a few Tech 9s. This is the sort of round that sometimes you want to go for a little bit of a quicker one, but already met with a bit of util over towards stairs. That'll slow them down. That might be the plan out of spawn. Briefly put on hold. Floppy playing back 90. Oh, I was just going to say met with a Molotov, but no, it flies 51 floors off the building. So Floppy remains as an island in towards backside. He might go unchecked as well. The molly didn't find, and he just lines up 2. They just don't clear him, and he gets away with more. Grim and JT. Floppy finds a 3rd. I cannot believe it. 1 missed Molotov completely sells that round.
Can you believe it? Floppy, he was so stuck, but the Molotov being missed means that he has the ability just to continue to peek on a great timing as well. He's only half blind. The kill feed is deceiving. You can see everything in front of him. And Floppy, of course, is such a difficult role playing that B anchor position. Sometimes you can feel isolated. You can struggle for the entire game pretty much and just not feel like you're in the game if they go A all the time, stuff like that. But delivers when it matters most, and we're going to OT, and we're starting OT. Unfortunately, the hero of the previous round, Floppy's been removed straight away. I will finally just quick mention, props to Complexity for that rotation, because they had everyone in position.
It's true, they were ready. MOUZ unable to close it out in regulation. This might just be that doorway opening up for potentially Cole stealing this map back. Also, you need to be a little bit careful, my friend. A lot of util and focus over towards B stairs. And, oh, Brolin, he makes a move, but actually a little late. Half a second there. If he goes a tad bit early, he just catches Holzer completely off guard, but not to be. They at least will be given mid-control here. Holzer's just going to completely fall off that angle.
And we saw Complexity have to try and push aggressively to recover 4v5s and it not work earlier. This time, I got some information, but not a whole lot. There's some JT, the stuck back 90. And he'll be forced forward toward White Box. But he probably needs 2, especially now Grim's gone down and Yimpat's just owned him. Simple as that. Great round from MOUZ. We've seen a couple of these buy rounds work so well for them, of course, in regulation with all 5 players alive. Even Holzerk's rotation is removed immediately by Torji with all that mid control. And it seems like that's a strategy that MOUZ is going to want to try and repeat. They've done it twice now to great effect.
True. Got a game on our hands here. A real good game indeed. And this is where potentially for MOUZ, you know, it's the classic. We mentioned it yesterday, mention it again. You need just one round in regulation. You fail to do so for many in a row, and then you get it straight away into overtime. It's always the case. It is the curse in a way. And you know, for MOUZ, good work. Grim. Actually, the first, he'll stick around as well, but as he goes on high, that gives away his advantage in that position. So Shuhei will trade. Roland for him. He's had his moments, in all fairness, but so he probably a little bit more on Exertion in particular. 14 and 7. It's quite low by his standards.
Yeah, frustrating for Grim to get caught as he wanted to jump back up again, of course. It's a position where you don't really want to dance behind those sandbags for too long because pre-aim is so easy, kind of, in that position. Easy for these players, at least. And gets caught trying to maneuver out. 4v4. Minute to go. Once again, Shui back in mid. Exertion around ramp, and Halzek is actually around B this time. He'll drop his smoke. So Floppy can use another one. We'll see him collect it in a moment. Torji caught. Down to 7 HP. As MOUZ work their way up, another boost. This time it's the one on the corner of Gap instead. Can Elige adjust? Should see a play on his left in a moment, but he doesn't see the tip of Yimpat, and he takes him down. Huge kill. Olzak trying to respond, does get one, and there's JT popping up with a huge kill. This is the Shui mid look that I mentioned, though. 25 seconds. He needs to do it all here. They're not looking at this whatsoever. 1 kill, 2 kills. Floppy suddenly last alive, but they need that bomb plant. He now knows that Shui's in this position. He's going to choose to fight him straight up, but he still goes straight in for it. And Shui takes out 1-2. Massive quad kill from the leader.
Yeah, talk about leading by example too from Shuhei. That is so well played. They needed him to go huge, and he does. He steps up in a big way, and oh my, MOUZ has the potential of going now 3 for 3 on this T side, and surely confirming off, you know, this map in their favor. I have to say as well, great reaction just from Yimfat on that kill. The one thing he does well, Elige has been getting a hell of a lot of, you know, just space with those boosts. I mean, he's getting a couple of kills off the back of it, and even if he hasn't got kills, he gets information. That time they punish him. That's what he needs to do. They react off the back of previous rounds so well. Cole, you've got to get at least one round in the CT side. You cannot afford to go 0 for 3. Grim gets deleted. Brolin, what a swing, what a find. And they could be pretty healthy here too, but it just goes a tad too shallow.
Oh, what a round from Shui, man. I'm still thinking about it. You know, we spoke about it earlier about just if he has his rounds where he pops up, that's all he needs to do. One impact round in overtime is enough to push you over the line. Plays that brilliantly in Exertion. He will get caught by the Halzek Corp. And MOUZ have enough utility to do whatever they want still. With complexity, it's actually interesting. They've only got a couple of smokes left. That's all they have. Floppy, great peek on Shui, but he goes for more against Brolin and gets removed immediately. Jump, throw, flash over the left side of the building. JT caught. Now it's all Elige on the side. He'll get cleared as well. MOUZ 3 in a row on T overtime. Surely not. It's all Halzek, and Torji will remove him too. MOUZ are here to play.
My God, especially after how just uncomfortable they looked at the tail end of regulation. They have got that fire kind of reignited inside them, and oh, unfortunate for complexity. There's so many gaps that open up in towards this CT side. So many opportunities for the rifling core of MOUZ to find so much form. Brolin had a great round there. Yimfat also with his double. Stunning stuff. And surely 3 map points in overtime to close this out. They can't fail to do so again, as they did in regulation. Not a second time you would expect. Torji, that's a healthy nade, but it's an even healthier shot on towards Halzek, who gets clipped immediately. Floppy, 1 point of HP, as you mentioned. He's barely alive, 1 foot in the grave, and that might be the case for complexity.
Oh no. Get those 1 spammed in chat. That's so painful for Floppy. Just takes a duel toward B stairs straight away, and he's out on the round pretty much already. What he can really do is use his utility to the best of his effects. MOUZ. Again, Torji taking initiative, being assertive toward Gap. So important for this team. Shuri has got teammate support toward B as well. They're all going to pounce 3 toward B stairs. JT gets overwhelmed, and now Torji's on a great angle to deal with the swing. He removes Elige as well. Complexity, one of their best maps. A map they've taken twice recently over MOUZ at Pro League. Both times 13-8. Seems like they found the formula finally, MOUZ.
Yeah, no one beats MOUZ 3 times on Vertigo. Roland will get floppy, finally gets seen off, and down goes Grim, 16-12. MOUZ draw first blood in this series, but that is a huge map to scalp away from the complexity side. That's Vertigo, their strength pick. As we mentioned, as Cyclone mentioned, they're one of the most consistent sides on this map in Tier 1, and they have now...
The one time I've really seen him overtake all of his teammates and sort of overtake everyone on the server was that game in Yongshiping on LAN, of course. He just went absolutely wild and kind of just destroyed the whole server. Different level of position. That was against Aurora. This is against MOUZ. Can he do it here and now? Pistol round underway. Exertion has the smoke. Torji has a double flash. And it looks like it's going to be a simple B pop for now.
In fact, takes a slight bit of damage as well to his team nade, but in they come. Julie's up close. Grim, one. Only one, though. Gets limited at that as Yinfa on the swing. Full blind. Oh, hello. Xerxian, Yinfa adding just one more apiece to the tally, and that's the B side. And surely you'd expect the round as well. 2v4 on a retake. The smoked out of CT as well, and some hopeful taps from Hallzerk are surely not going to find the success they want. And Yinfa and Torzi are going to sit up close too. They're baiting in the fight, and it's not a bait their call are going to fall for. They're dipping away, tail between their legs. They're going to run. They're going to hide. Keep hold of the armor. Keep hold of, I guess, the upgraded pistols for Floppy. Hallzerk sticks around a little bit to see if he can catch any sort of consolation kills. He gets pretty damn close to Xerxian. He might still die to the bomb. Brolin other ideas, though. He knows. He spots one. Looks for two. Tapping away. Dinks and drops.
Nice.
Down goes Floppy. Only the one casualty. More or less a flawless round for MOUZ.
Perfect call as well, just keeping it simple. They had the smoke, they had the 2 flashes. The nade was a little bit goofy, did catch the corner of the wall. It happens, but it was a very comfortable take in the end, and that was despite Complexity having a decent setup to try and deal with it. It was almost a read from Cole, but they still couldn't stop it.
So, we're not going to get force spike out from Complexity here. Not 100% sure if I'm a fan of it, but we'll see how it pans out. Nice tag. Shuhei will be dropped down to 29. Also, doesn't want to stick around for seconds. Back 10. Also going to get tagged as well. Hallzerk doing some alright damage out the gates. It will make, for example, these MP9s or even that 5.7 actually more prevalent in this round. Shuhei and Xerxian do just need to be a tad bit careful.
Impact. Careful, my friend, up against the MP9. Obviously, it can be awkward losing that AK and apps as the first point of contact. It's often his role. Lots of noise being made elsewhere, but it make Floppy look away. Thankfully, Brolin comes through Boiler. It's a great catch on Elige and Floppy in the end. Recovers the man advantage. Hallzerk looking to do some more tag work with this scalp, though. Thankfully, for MOUZ's sake, it's a great shot from Shuri once again. And with the last 2 CTs on Complexity split up, Grim and JT. Exertion just providing a little bit of a fake when it comes to the sound cues. Top banana. Looks like MOUZ have this one under lock and key.
It should be the round. I can't see this one slipping away. Like you mentioned, that's A side taken. Bomb will go down momentarily. And actually a little bit of a hunt here. Xerxian, the right idea. Doesn't clear, not effectively. So Grim will get his. Shuhei clearing, and he also gets dropped as well. So this is already getting a little expensive. JT will pick himself up in towards a Galil. I'll be ramping up to potentially try and attempt to retake. Moto smoke couldn't have been timed better, in all honesty. Just after JT's first fight. Torji, little spam to that smoke, but not going to find the effectiveness, and a re-smoking towards Moto as well to really just eliminate JT out of this round. Basically gives him no effectiveness. Grim will stick around what seems to be a hunt, but it's not an effective one as Brolin gets his. And Torji can go save over towards Pit as well. So I think we could talk about silver linings here, Trav, and talk about positives. That was pretty expensive. However, that was a force buy. If it was expensive on a low buy or maybe a half buy, it's a silver lining and you know, consolation kills. But because that was a full investment, that puts Complexity on quite a bit of a back foot here.
I was a bit worried when I saw Torji holding the angle on the site rather than just holding a crossfire with his teammate. There was a chance that Galil could have swung on him and just headshot him, and they absolutely then would have been the cue to go. And they try and play for some aggressive exits. Grim just looks away at the last second on the Apps player, unfortunately, and good catch once again by Brolin. 5-0 start for Brolin, good stuff. They stop Banana toward any aggression from Complexity. JT, of course, still does have that Galil. It's all about him in this round with that Kevlar, of course, saved over as well. The 5-7s could still do something dirty, and now they've figured out where that Galil is. Exertion will go down. That should mean they should move the bomb over toward A, but Complexity will still try and make some havoc happen with these rotations.
Broden's got 250 ADR so far. He's looking for more, but he might actually overlook Balcony. Just get one. Elige, 2 for him as well. This is good work. Playing from the site as well. Elige doing God's work, and he's stepping up the bold buff in true form as JT will come through to clean up the final one. But Elige, fantastic work. Never doubt a 5-7. And it's those sort of rounds. They're prime examples of why I'm just so perplexed by how smooth the brains of those who use the CZ. Look how good the 5-7 is. Why would you use the IKEA builder gun? Why?
Why indeed? 5-7 is just ridiculously powerful, especially in the hands of Elige, and that's huge. Look at the weapons they've got on the CT side. 2 Galils and 2 AKs.
Yeah.
All of that for free, and they've survived it very healthily as well with 4 players live. That just bolsters the money brilliantly. Gives them something to fall back on now. MOUZ will walk into the mixer. They tried to go toward A, like I said, after they found the Galil, but as I said, Complexity's rotations are played to perfection. Good nade on toward Brolin in the following round as well. Of course, they're rebuying into this, but only 3 rifles on their side too. 2 smokes are the last 2 pieces of utility available.
I actually like this from Complexity as well. They're just utilizing this util so well that sort of forces MOUZ to use theirs, but they just do not have the reserves in the way. I called it. Smoke will come down, and actually this leaves such a good gap for Brolin to try and work with. If anyone tries to contact out mid, he should easily get away with one. JT does cross in apt time to not take spam damage in towards CT. It's just feeling like a B finish here. We're still leaving 2 lurking over towards A, so it's not a complete commitment. But 40 seconds, sooner rather than later, we've got to make a decision. And there's 3 towards B to meet them.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Same as the pistol round, but this time they've got a lot more power on their side. A nice little crossfire here with JT and Grim. It's going to have to be pure entries here for MOUZ. No flashes available. All Grim. His head is spotted. Exertion hasn't seen it until the last second. He finally takes him down. But JT and Elige is the snake in the grass. There it is. Exertion will drop. Brolin is in an incredible position. And he will get a freebie onto a Halzak, but 9 seconds. And this round ain't happening. It's a save for MOUZ. As you can see, Floppy might even have an opportunity to take one of them down after time. But MOUZ will at least position themselves fine to avoid that, but it's another Complexity round.
Yeah, they just had the numbers, didn't they, over towards that B side. They were ready to meet them there and make sure they can kind of go toe for toe. But I like the way they started out. I touched on that util because they could trade util, which would always benefit Carl. They had much deeper belts to fall back on. And nice trades as well from backside. Elige, good work. 2 all. Once again, a slightly uncomfortable buy in a way for MOUZ. It is a full buy though, it has to be said. So AK M4, 3 Tech 9s, and a beautiful double nade setup. Xertion, not the way he wanted to start. Yeah, exactly. 2 HEs land straight at the feet.
Halzak could have a lot on his plate coming here. Final few MOUZ players working their way forward, and Brolin with Floppy has to get back onto the site quickly and does. And MOUZ now all grouped up together. They know the AWP is stuck in that position. If they can swarm him, there's a chance this round could still be on. But thankfully there is support for Halzak. Oh, he's taken out his USP at the wrong time. And he can't react against Shuey. And unfortunately, Elige has been found as well in the meantime. How on earth have MOUZ got themselves into this bomb site?
Yeah, surely We're not letting this sort of a round slip away. Grim. He's starting to maneuver, may I say, through apartments. The Infat holding for this long play. If he spammed now, he could get some damage. It's good damage too. Grim tries to activate Yimfat with the swing. The reaction is excellent. MOUZ, how are we walking away with that round? They had one premium rifle and a Galil in support and a few Tech 9s. They have pulled off a bit of a miracle in that one, and they're walking away with an AK, an M4, and an AWP on the back of Shuey. That's MOUZ reclaiming the lead, and what a time to do it. If that force buy had gone south, Trav, we're probably talking about Cole going 3-2 up, if not 4-2 up.
I'm not sure if we can maybe see on the replay how exactly Elige died, because, you know, I thought for a second Hulzek was under a lot of pressure and a lot of problems, because I thought MOUZ were going to do exactly what they did in the end and just swarm him, knowing that the AWP's on the side. There we go. We kind of see it just as the impact crosses the angle there. We see the beginning of it. I thought Hulzek would be fine with Elige being next to him, but not the case. Pulls out the USP at exactly the wrong moment. And Complexity, full foul. Another one of those low econ rounds we spoke about a lot on Vertigo that just they can't afford to lose sometimes. And MOUZ are now in pole position on this T side, and Hulzek scout gets deleted instantly.
Grim playing anti. JT wants to be first contact, but a Molotov down and the smoke just behind it as well will limit visibility. Xerxin playing on top of logs. As this smoke starts to dissipate, his position becomes quite strong because he has the support of Shuhei. Double stack of JT and Grim up close. Important fight that needs to be found. It's Shuhei for one. Grim will pounce back to one of his own, and a bit of tag damage on towards Xerxin is not bad either. Molotov forces them further back, so Cole reclaim this top banana control. They boost above it as well to look for more. But at the same time, there's now information gained over towards the B side. There's two there, three alive.
Floppy.
Only one towards A. Floppy, what have we got? First is good. Second, looking behind it as well. Might just get it, and he will. Floppy's activated, and what a time to come alive as well. As the Infat gets caught, Tech 9 drive by, will deliver. MOUZ on out of this round just yet as Torzy activates for a double of his own. What are we seeing? It's Grim up close. He just doesn't clear Xerxin, and the Academy duo deliver.
Brilliant stuff from MOUZ there. As soon as Floppy gets the two, that's probably the maximum he can possibly do from that position. And even that's not enough, right? I mean, maybe if I'm to be ultra nitpicky, he could have maybe just hidden Pit even longer after he gets these first two kills. He had 6 bullets left. He could have maybe got in a reload before he swung again. And maybe then that's more manpower for Complexity to utilize when the rotations come through. But Torji once again does incredible work. Catching Elige is the main kill there that has not just taken that round, but has broken the economy in the next. Complexity down to pistols. It's a stack around the B site with 3. But Shuey's already going to delete 2 of them, and he knows where that third is. Shuey wants this round done as easily and as comfortably as possible. B taken.
Yeah, we're going to accept all the cash investments that have that Mac 10. That's building up funds for the long term. Xerxin. Hot flash over. Hulzek spotted. Clean. But can't get the second. Floppy will get one of his own. Missed shot as well. The Tech 9 wants to get into the fight. It's a little scrappy and does have to be bailed out there by Brolin. But it's a round nonetheless. Shuhei, good work. 3K for him with that Mac 10 and a simple one. Ultimately, MOUZ are now starting to build up a very good first half here. I mean, even if they get, for my eyes, I would say 6 rounds on this T side, I would call that a very, very good first half.
Buy for Complexity back in. Utility levels are good enough, but not enough money overall for the Hulzek Corp this time. And Shuey, of course, has still got that Mac 10, so are MOUZ going to continue to play speedy? They've conditioned Complexity a little bit in this game that some of those fast plays could come through, especially the ones with the low econ rounds. And Shuey has shown his presence toward long, actually, with that Mac 10. A couple of bullets toward Arch. to say he's there. Could be a flash in toward that short area, and actually Halsek just gets the kill completely dry on toward Exertion, and there's no way Chewy's going to be tapping down a pit player from there with that SMG. And this is working out incredibly well for Complexity. MOUZ kind of just go one by one and get removed one by one.
Yeah, spacing's pretty woeful there, in all honesty. They've got to trade better. They've got to play off each other better. It felt like the cohesion slightly fell apart. They were hoping that an individual could open things up, like Xertion, for example, and then they'd be able to play off the back of it. But no, they just get pulled apart, and it's a very, very solid hold towards the A side. That's a perfect way to play it. Now, Complexity still got some new tricks up their sleeve. Unleash, a nice double from him. 5-3. This half is far from over, while MOUZ have definitely looked like they've had a few more ideas in the early parts. It's looking like Carl are starting to come alive a bit as JT delivers on the first. Xertion, down he goes again. He's relentless on the aggression in the early round, but he's still struggling to put those numbers up.
Just watching the rotations, of course, and how critical they are on Inferno. Halsek waiting for the mid push, and Brolin, that gap in the long smoke is actually completely unexpected for Brolin. Gives Halsek a perfect line. Chewy's now stuck between Molotovs, has to somehow get a kill and get out. Well, at least he does one part of that. Torji's now going to force his way in, knowing that probably backside is where he needs to focus. He's got an HE, but that is not going to remove Grim from the round. It does maximum damage, though, and actually forces him into the open. That's a bit dangerous. This HE's good, though. Great response. Halsek dunks Torji. Now it's the impact. Ooh.
It's flank on flank.
But, as you say, there is Floppy directly behind him, and of course, no bomb in his possession. It's still in T steps right now for Yimpat. So 40 seconds to go all the way around the map and collect it. But he has found that first kill. Elige might see it on the map sooner or later. They have got them locked in, but Yimpat could just win the duel. Elige rushes into it a bit too quickly, and now it's all Floppy.
Yeah, the big issue there is that they hadn't seen the bomb, right? So Elige is thinking, right, this is a B finish. Let me come and pincer with Floppy, making his move out from CT. But actually, that's where Yimfat activates. And it's a foot race. He's just going to run all the way to A. I don't know if Floppy hears this. My assumption is not by the lack of movement out from him. So Yimfat on for the 1 versus 3 here, and this would be an absolute miracle of a round to take. Plant, 4 short. Floppy a little late on the rotate as well, as Yimfat tried to set him up. Smoke down. He looks over towards short as well. It's a timing play. Yimfat delivers. What a time to step up. Ice cold from Jimmy Sallow. And my God, the Complexity falter. What a clutch. What a 3K. And what a crumble by Complexity.
If there was ever one man, it's Mr. Jimmy once again. What a round from him. And as you say, just that small micro of Elige not seeing the bomb in T steps just ruins that round. And even though they know Floppy is usually the pit player, Yimpat still goes back to A, expected Floppy to have rotated all the way around, and then plays the 1v1 to perfection. Bomb down with 5 seconds to spare. Has time to pick the angle he wants to hold. Maybe here's one step of Floppy making his way forward. It looks like he reacted to maybe a teammate communicating that information over to him at the very last moment, and exactly the right moment. And Jimmy's done it again.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, as well, with this tack pause, it's obviously a moment for TC to enter and, you know, try and rally the troops a bit, but the big thing is actually just makes Complexity sit on that. That is a bad round to lose, but an absolutely beautiful one from Yimfat, and in taking that as well, it's completely given MOUZ so much momentum. Elige, he's lucky to stay alive, and actually by him tucking his head, it does give Floppy the kill. Yimfat, doors closed, mate. Look the other way, look to the right-hand side. He's still focused on the wrong way. Yimfat spamming. He tracks back, but Elige pounces. That's good. The spam gets close as well. What is happening here? Nadal bank round the corner, but doesn't catch Elige. He is out of dodge. Crossing is a different story, but also gets that luxury. He is so lucky. 3 different instances where he's escaped death, and the same can't be said for Torzi. How is Elige alive, first of all? How has he got a kill?
How is that?
What is happening?
How is he 100 health? How is he still 100 health? How is he just running shot Exertion out of the round? What a call for Complexity as well, by the way. They're just a second mid pinch with, you know, a triple peak pretty much, and it works to perfection. MOUZ were not expecting that whatsoever. Now it's Shui's turn to clutch, but Elijah still keeping a very close eye on that position, and he's found a quad kill in unbelievable circumstances.
Oh my god, I cannot believe he gets away with so much space. So many small little microplays just go right for Elijah there. You know, the luxury of crossing apartments, not getting caught in that first engagement in towards second mid, but then just delivering in such a defiant way.
Mate, the whole round played out in T-apps. When does that ever happen?
Ridiculous round of Counter-Strike. And it actually, I mean, look at the ramifications for Complexity. Look at the buy for MOUZ. Shui for one. Traded out there as well by the nade and by Holzuk. At the same time, Yimfa starts to make a move himself. Spots one just the top of the head. Over towards Long, but it's not enough for him to deliver on that kill. So the pace slowed right down here by MOUZ. I say that, Torzi, he steps up, and he steps up to the play. It's a home run for him, and Yimfat delivers a second behind it. Horzerk will get caught, JT with a fadeaway, but now a smoke to meet him in towards Moto makes it a very difficult retake. Bomb goes down, 2 versus 3. Trav, this ain't easy.
They've got kits, but even though they're here, it's Inferno, mate. Like, yeah, what can you really
know
do?
It. Oh, Jane, what you have done to our map.
Yeah, there is a couple of Infernos that I've seen at this event. I think it was a Vitality versus Mongols Inferno, if I remember correctly. Absolute barn burner. That was stunning. I think Machine and Sponge were. I think Machine was, waxing lyrical about how amazing that map was. They were absolutely loving it. So many retakes. How he wanted Counter-Strike to be played. Not this round, unfortunately. It's an expected save and one that has to come through. Bit of a wild map and wild first half thus far for MOUZ. It's been back and forth. They've won ecos, they've lost ecos. I think MOUZ won one with the Tech 9s and a sort of half buy investment. And of course, Complexity earlier in the game, won one with the 5-7s. As you can see, grins on the faces of Shui and some of his teammates. They Jimmy clutch all live long in the memory. And another crazy push-up mid that's going to work out for them.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to witness that one as well. Be a part of it. And yeah, how that one also kind of slots itself into place, who knows. But it is MOUZ who guarantee a lead at the turn of the half. As a bare minimum, they make it an 8-4. It's Complexity you start to slightly knock on death's door in this tournament. And that could be something that is on the cards. Of course, this is MOUZ's map pick. They stole away Vertigo. Holzerk scout. What have he got for us? Last time he had a scout as well. Got a couple of very important tags. Spots one crossing. A intuitive pop shot, but doesn't connect. It's 3 towards B. So it does feel like Cole are actually ready for this sort of a play here. The flash is very good and towards the T-side. Zershin and Shuhi both get caught. JT and Grim both get really active there in the supporting role.
Yeah, and Elige gets 2 again. And oh my word, JT, what a brilliant catch on Torji. Just sort of dancing with the corner of top banana, managing to get one bullet through the corner of the wall. Bomb is recoverable. Roland can pick it back up again, and they are actually looking to continue their push in toward B and toward this B site. It is a 2v2. The CTs are split up. Roland needs a very quick reaction. He gets it, and he gets JT as well. But 15 HP to win out this 1 versus 2. But hang on. It's against Floppy with a FAMAS and a Holzerk. He's looking for a different weapon. He's only got USP right now. He's dropped his scout. He's found the AK, but Brolin is closing him down. No armor on Holzerk, but a good reaction. And Complexity get an all-important 5th.
Yeah, oh my. There was a moment there that looked a little bit uncomfortable, but a 7-5 half is workable by Complexity. That is the main thing. They get a pistol, should get the force on the back of it. That's 7-0, then we're tied. So there is an idea about how we're getting back into it. Not under the pressure just yet. The backs aren't completely against the wall, but it is really going to require them to dig deep heading in towards their T side. And we already have seen throughout this tournament Complexity have a couple of issues, a couple of woes on the T side, especially in terms of how they start. So they can't find a pistol. They could be under a hell of a lot of pressure. MOUZ had a real couple of great moments. It's that Yimfa 3K clutch that will live long in our memories, of course, and how that definitely did give MOUZ some luxury to work with. But ultimately for Complexity, I think this is definitely a bit of an uphill battle. They need to be careful. They don't really have a lot of room for error. Alicia's 4K as well of the towards T-Apps. Wild, wonderful, but in the end, it's a 7-5 half. We'll see you after the break.
MOUZ on the search to right the wrongs of their previous matches against Complexity from Pro League, and they're now one half away from eliminating Complexity from Rio.
It's getting close, isn't it, as well? 7-5 half in favor of MOUZ. Things are looking, they're feeling good over in that camp, but Carl aren't dead just yet. T-side now, they move on to him. We'll see. This pistol round could be everything. Nice little start as well as Zershin does some serious damage on towards Holzerk. This pistol could be quite make or break, if we're being completely honest, towards this Complexity side. They lose this and they're already under a lot of trouble. That'll be MOUZ going 8-5, potentially even 9-5 up. Bomb stays towards B. All 5 in this direction for the Complexity side. And we've kind of got 3 for MOUZ, so it's not exactly like it's a weak hold at all. Shooty plucks him out of the sky. Zershin gets one on a fadeaway as well. Tapping away, a little bit more damage dealt. Horzerk feels like he's 1 foot in the grave too. So this round, absolutely on for MOUZ. Another bit of damage dealt on towards Floppy as a ramp play starts to move up and Elige pulls off the angle. That might just cost him his life. A smoke in towards Banana, and that might even give the Ruse a little bit more leeway behind it. It's Torji starting to move, but Elige delivering forward too. He in fact gets caught. Floppy, Horzek all low. Torji tries to fade that smoke and it'll cost him his life. Zershin, they know where he is. He's a dead man on a rifle. Elige has pulled off a beautiful 3K.
Once again, it's Mr. Elige. Who else would it be? Recovering a disadvantage brilliantly, going aggressive, knowing he had to. Well, look at that first shot from Shui. Goodness gracious me. Grim plucked out of the sky, quite literally. And MOUZ weren't even in a bad position after that. As you can see, they had a kit available. They would have known they could have played more time, waited for everyone to get into position, but Elige stopped them before they even could.
Okay. AK, 2 Galils, 2 Mac-10s against a complete nothing buy out from MOUZ. So this, without a doubt, should be a very simple 7th put on the board for Colt. MOUZ, not the pistol they would have wanted. They get that pistol. I mean, we could be talking about them potentially even closing out the series, right? It's just that easy, but a change of narrative now. T-side, when Cole set the tempo, when Cole are the ones dictating the pace of the game, that's where they do find their comfort.
JT moving up. Should be fine here against the Eco on the Mac-10. We'll see the tip of roll on already. Unfortunately, that's what that angle can do these days. It's not as safe, that position. And the headshot angle. Floppy will drop, though. He actually swings into 3. That's good intel, though. Then I'll know that all 3 are there. Leach wanting some extra to add to his tally. Thankfully, Grim's here in support as well. And Grim actually gets 2 with the Mac-10, as it so should be with the SMG. So, game on Inferno. Playing for survival are both these teams, but Complexity a lot closer to it. And of course, going off of recent form, it has been Complexity that has got the better of MOUZ, but maybe that coincided with MOUZ's slight drop-off of their consistency in bigger events, in-LAN events. Now maybe MOUZ are starting to ramp back up again, of starting to right those wrongs. Now the guns can come out, Complexity on their bonus buy.
Yeah, very true. Lots of util. Zershin under pressure. Zershin, the flames, he's ticking. How has he survived? Look at the util damage, and he'll finally fall. But that is perfect util in towards top banana. Zershin gets chunked down to 4 points of HP before a nade sees him off, and Brolin's left very, very walking wounded in this spot too. Torzi, he's waiting for a boost here. I mean, a CT smoke will come down. He's going to play out in front of this. Elige's head is not just spotted, but Elige's got a gap and he utilizes it effectively. Brolin's all that's left towards B, and he's barely alive.
Oh no. Good recovery from Cole. How on earth does Bolin stay alive for much longer? The answer is he can't. He's forced out by the fire and flames. There's just nothing he can do. A spam back through the smoke was the only way back until Shui finds that one. Now banana control. That's an extra factor Complexity have to worry about. It's Floppy and Holzerk. Shui's up pretty quickly here. Holzerk will be behind the dark smoke, looking to elevate his position on top of the boxes. It might work, and it absolutely will. It's now all Jimmy. Surely he can't win another clutch. Hall's choosing to fight for it, and he deletes him. Complexity back in the lead. Fist pumps from Grim. Here we go for Cole.
Okay, we're on. Complexity looking good. They're starting to really look very, very strong, and we're just seeing where for MOUZ, they look shell-shocked in the way some of these kind of rounds are starting out. They're just so caught off guard by the aggression out from Complexity, and you can see them, they're now getting loud. The pressure seems to ease on the shoulders. It will be once again another lowish buy out for this MOUZ side, so you would expect that Cole should find 9 here without breaking too much of a sweat. So Shinigami will set up close. This time he's going to make sure not to take as much damage from the Molotov.
Now, Complexity versus 5-7s versus a pistol half buy on the close range angles of Inferno. We've been here before.
Yeah.
We've been here before, mate, and they'll know that. They'll be in the forefront of their minds right now. How do they play it? What has MOUZ chosen to put into place in terms of a crossfire, in terms of a pistol stack? Right now, it's 3A. Make it 4 if you count Brolin in Arch. Bomb still T-steps. Going to be recovered right now. Still just that one player toward B. That's Exertion. He's got a re-smoke. He probably had a couple of smokes in that position to sell the fake that there are more players on B than there actually are. Brolin, though, great catch from Hallzerk. Removed immediately. And now it's a 3 on the site itself. It's a pinch towards short. The impact goes aggressive. He only finds one though. And JT has jiggled out the final player. Great patience. And that is the site clear. Complexity is safe. Should be 9-7 and will be 9-7.
Yeah, only the one casualty. 2, you're more than happy with that. Very nice round. Out, smiles out for TC as well. He knows that they're inching closer to pushing us towards that decider. I mean, we said coming in towards the series, we want to see that nuke, and especially because nuke has had weaknesses for both sides. It no longer becomes about, you know, game plans and all these narratives you like to bring in. It just comes down to vibes, right? And I think that's going to be quite an interesting thing in that sense. I mean, even just a small thing of who wins that knife round could be massively impactful, getting that CT start. Second mid flash gonna come over. Shuhei, good for 1, looks for 2, but maybe slightly sticks around too long as he will get caught on the trait. Oh, and it's a shot from JT Zershin. He's having his troubles. That goes for absolute certain, and especially in towards top banana.
Yeah, JT has been super solid for Complexity on this map, finding another really impactful kill. I try the second mid flash. Oh, Brolin. Behind the smoke, the 2 players coming his way, fully blinded, should get traded, is traded by JT, and they to break it from the smoke. Jimmy, they will pause the cross. Hallzerk will then make his way over with that ball on his back. It's a safe cross. That nade might catch Jimpat, actually. It does for a bit of damage, but he still finds JT somehow. Okay. 2 versus 2. Torji with the AWP on the retake. It's going to be so difficult, but Yimpat does have that smoke, does have that kit. They're going to stick around, and it's Floppy and Hallzerk again. It was these 2 last time, and they were successful. Double push through Church. Floppy holding that with Hallzerk looking toward Banana as that smoke's about to fade, but Floppy's got a really nice angle and he'll take it. It's now Torji. He's got that defuse kit picked up from his teammate, but Hallzerk will rip his head off. Complexity large and in charge on Inferno.
Yeah, that's big. Oh my, immediate attack pause gets called here, and Cyclone going to enter into the conversation because he knows this is rapidly falling apart for MOUZ, and now 3 rounds behind, while Complexity are 3 rounds away from pushing this towards a decider. And what a game we're being gifted with here. I really thought Complexity, off the back of that first half where it definitely had its shakier moments, I honestly thought this was probably the beginning of the end. But it's not. Look at the game that we find ourselves in at the moment. Money is in a bit of an uncomfortable state, so we probably have to half buy once again here for MOUZ. If they want any chance of making this comeback on, they have to convert one of these sort of low half buy rounds, and they're not easy. Percentage wise, of course, is stacked pretty heavily against them. So we'll see whether that is going to be the case, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing out from Complexity. Just such ruthless aggression coming through, and I think JT's calling and also playing very well individually himself.
Agree. Marley in towards Sandbags, going to force these players forward. Great flash, and JT is screwed this time. Grim has to deliver. He gets one. Does he know that Brollan's still there? I think he did, but he will get removed. So, a little bit more aggression on this low buy round for MOUZ, and it might work. Oh, complexity against these rounds again. It's a Legion Hallzerk 2 versus 4 out of nowhere. Shui finds the all-important kill in toward the apartments. And now MOUZ just don't need to peek anything. Don't give up any kills for free. Elige realizes there could be a gap to work with towards short. And he knows, in such a disadvantage, he's going to have to try and use it. It's a freebie onto Shui. And with the impact in apps, it's a great factor to have for MOUZ. But Hallzerk will now be here to help out, and they should get a plant.
Yeah. That feels like, for the most part, that guarantee. It's just about... what leg to this round up? I mean, this round feels like it's all off the back of the Infa. He has to get one. That's without a doubt. Hallzerk will just slip by in towards short. A boost going to come through as Brolin goes up on high. Looking for that fight. They know one's in towards Big Pit. That's a guarantee, but Elige isn't showing his head just yet. He's not peeking. He knows he's got that pixel angle to work with. And he'll catch Torzi down to the 2 versus 2. Yimfa with an activate, but then Hallzerk off the flying. Oh! Yimfa! What is that? How? What is that clearance? Why is he even checking that on that timing? I mean, this kid is absolutely bonkers. And that is another just masterclass of a round from him. But why is he even clearing that?
MOUZ, oh, honestly, they've played that really, really well. Once they knew that Elige was in Big Pit, like you say, they just had no choice but to run the 2 long players through the smoke to try and expose Elige and get him into a position where Yimpak can clear him. And he doesn't just clear Elige, he clears Hallzerk as well. Applause from Shuri. Yimpak, grin on his face. No wonder. What a headshot. What a critical one that could prove to be. Suddenly, they have everything they want on their CT side again.
Just ridiculous, isn't it? 8 to 10, but of course, you know, rebuy right back in. This nade could be healthy. This nade could do a decent amount. They actually get out in front of it. Grim, Xerxin, one apiece. Trades a decent. The spam from Xerxin. Oh, the third was so close as Elige gets tagged down to 28. He's a lucky man to still be alive, but he's barely alive.
Xerxin, as you mentioned earlier, has had a pretty quiet game, but fighting to a banana, sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. This time it will. Jimmy has got support with Torji this time towards short. If Floppy peeks from Boiler, he should be a dead man. Now he will reveal his position. Thanks, Molotov actually will force Torji back and force the impact away, but Torji sticks around that extra second and gets a kill, and somehow he clears Hallzerk in the apps as well. It's down to Elige, 28 HP. And suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, it's going to be Complexity's money that's in trouble.
He, in fact, doesn't need to peek it. And this peek will get the information. Yeah, he probably thought...
Oh, he's not!
Oh, my God. In fact, every single time you feel like this guy is dead, he finds a way to make the round work. And for MOUZ, oh, my... how they've come alive, and you have to look back to when they were 10 to 7 down. Cyclone caused that attack pause, and they look completely revitalized. You know, at one point, coming in towards the second half, they were an absolute shadow of their former selves, especially from what we saw in towards overtime in map 1, for example. But how they've recovered, and you touched on it just at the tail end of that round. The money is all over the shop. Need to come down, Floppy. Well, take a little bit of damage from it, but we're not expecting a lot here. Torzi, for 1, looks for 2, delivers as well. Doesn't want to be overrun by the pistols, but Torzi, oh, he's gone for 4. What is this? It's a shooting gallery, and he will get 4 out of 5. Xerxin cleans up the 5th, but that was a lovely couple of shots from Torzi, especially considering he's had a bit of a slow game.
Yeah, nice bit of pad to the stats there to give him a bit more confidence in this map. Against the fast-moving pistols as well, that is not easy. The impact this time does go dying on his peak, but it's brilliant. Suddenly, from the fist pumps of earlier, Grim looks frustrated. We know, of course, Complexity are one of the teams most prone to tilt at this level.
Yeah.
But MOUZ right now getting back into this game pretty much thanks to Yimpal on a couple of super important situations. And of course, we bring up Jimmy a lot because he's so integral for this team. You know, he's been unbelievable this year, but Pro League Season 20 was his lowest rated event on MOUZ since Espo last year with a 1.04. 1.04 isn't even terrible for an anchor, right?
It's true.
But we know the level that he can play at. And that was not the level we've come to expect. This looks a lot better, and he's having his impact, that's for sure, on this map and in this series overall.
Some ridiculous rounds from him. I mean, we even just have to throw it back again to that 1v3 clutch. He had no right in winning that. And the fact that he does is sort of ridiculous. Soul, at least was trying to go up in towards Apps there, but he was hurt. And Brolin on his spam, guess what? A nade. He do a decent amount. It'll bank and it will catch Horzerk. So he, without even really seeing anybody, he starts the round at 47 points of HP. With JT dead already, Cole now most definitely on the back foot. Torji, he's posted. Grim, I don't know if we want to peek this. Even if somehow Torji loses the fight, there should be the trade there. One's moving in towards Boiler though, so Floppy could support Grim on this engagement if they want to take it.
Ah, looks like they're ready to pounce. But MOUZ are so ready. Utility in place. Still, of course, bomb dropped. T-stairs. There's the wide swing. It's enough to make Torji miss, but there is the impact once again. Could be two, it is two. Last bullet. He gets the kill, and that's when Torji comes back to help out. It's a perfect mid-hold for MOUZ. I said at 10-7 to Complexity they were large and in charge. North American fans, you can blame me. It was my fault. Suddenly, they're 11-10 behind.
Oh my, they are on the brink of elimination. Just 2 more rounds is all that MOUZ have need, or will need, to see this one off. And again, I can't believe it, because if we're being completely frank, Trav, when they were 10-7 down, to when we got to that point, they were looking woeful. They were completely checked out of this game. You know, for us, we were already starting to discuss Nuke and saying this feels like it's going to be a necessity in this series. And now, well, for Complexity, that'll be a luxury to get towards Nuke at this rate. Low buy. So we're playing for overtime, if we're being completely honest. This would be quite miraculous if Cole can make this sort of a round stick. P250, triple tech 9. Horzerk just on the Glock as he, of course, wants that all.
I always feel like it's very risky for any CT player to go looking at an angle like this, and there could be a pistol directly underneath you, or around where you should be favoured comfortably, but I appreciate the assertiveness. That's how they've got back into this game, MOUZ, from that 10-7 deficit I mentioned. Just being assertive, being aggressive, not giving Complexity any time to breathe. They'll thoroughly deserve their space in the next round of the lower bracket. Of course, it's FaZe waiting, don't forget, and we know what an incredible matchup that's been in the past. Torji does really well to find one. Exertion will make sure that is 2 as well. He's struggling on the second though. Thankfully he's got a Tech 9 as a sidearm and gets one more. Instant headshot on a lead, and then Torji rephases. It should be all good. JT, P250, he's found 2 of his own. And it's an IGL versus IGL battle. Shuri is very fast toward Banana though, and it's all good, and that's how he feels about it. The nerves have been released. MOUZ have match points.
Oh my, JT. That's a college try there. It's not a bad one at all. It's close, but it's no cigar. That was a low buy, so we will be having that full investment coming in towards the next, and it has to be successful. Complexity, it's about getting towards overtime. They managed to recover, right, from a deficit, taking it towards OT in Vertigo, but then they fell apart, not even getting a single round there as they went 0 for 4. And they're looking to once again try and push it towards that overtime and do one better. But Yimfa will get the first. Floppy responding kind of. Shuhei, he does get caught overextending. We spoke about that angle in towards apartments. Maybe seen as a bit of an overextension. In this case, he'll get punished for it. So back to the 4 versus 4. And Yimfa, he'll just fall back over towards Big P. He's had a lot of success from here.
Smoke in from Floppy. We'll block off Torji for now. Sure, Torji did get 4 kills against those pistols, but he has recovered his KD really well on this second half. Brolin up against JT. JT playing with the smoke. Maybe a bit too overzealous there. Taken down for free. MOUZ back in the man advantage. And they kept control of top Banana there, MOUZ. They didn't just fall back to the sites. They had players holding it. Now they know they have the advantage, so they can relax. Play the crossfires, and looks like Complexity's last chance and last attempt might be an A play. 35 seconds left in the round and maybe left in their stint at Intel Extreme Masters Rio.
Well, what have you got? It's not been the tournament for North America. If we're being honest, Liquid getting eliminated just earlier. Dorsey, nice find. Floppy will fall. He looks for the second one. Deliver, and Yimfa gets cleared.
Oh.
And Horzek also finds one of his own. So, we're not done just yet. 2 versus 2, and it's a long old rotate for Xerxin and Brolin to get over towards his A side. They'll know they both play via B as well. So they've got a bit of time to work with here. And we're going to stick together. Double AK now as Brolin will upgrade from that M4A1S. The one issue, though, is only a smoke to work with for the CT side. Carl have actually run out of util. Horzek, first contact, and it's successful. He spots out the second as well as Xerxin. I think on this one, he might just have to concede, even though they've got money, even though he could give it a go. No time. No chance, and it will be Complexity who just about stay alive. Exit frag is what he'll get. And maybe actually another, in all fairness, it's the equivalent of a Doja Nade. Oh, he gets it. So Horzek, no AWP for you, my friend. That makes this a very different potential final round here, just because it looked like it was going to be an AWP and an AK kept alive, and then the buy around it. Now, back to square one. That changes things.
If you can't win the round, do that. That's absolutely the right choice for MOUZ when they have that money available. Exertion removes it all. They're going to be on a couple of Galils for sure here. Complexity in round 24 to stay alive. Exertion playing the long game for one more round there. The 2 Galils I mentioned. Sure, it still affords them decent utility, but MOUZ trusting in their round 24. What have they got for us?
It's got to be something special. Once again, aggression. Shuhei got punished from this angle before, and it might be the same here. Yes, Floppy. Good reaction, good adjustment there on the jiggle peak as Shuhei falls and Inferno not able to trade. He's going to dip away. He's going to completely give the respect over there. And Xerxin will play back over towards first orange, setting up for this smoke as well to give them some space. And actually, as we're talking about it, Floppy will fall, so there is the trade just after the fact. Flash over. The flash is perfect. Xerxin can't get the second no, so B-side open.
Yeah, and Yimpat is so low from earlier on, and it's a retake on Inferno. The one thing that could still work in MOUZ's favor is the utility advantage. A nade will come over, but it's a bit too deep. Horzek has one more re-smoke and 1 HE. Now that re-smoke will be used. Torji has this all-important flash to try and get Brolin in through Church. New box is where Horzek will reside. JT is holding for Yimpat's advance up banana. Surely this is all in Cole's favor here. Yimpat will go down. Torji and Brolin to try and recover things and win the game, but I think we're going extra rounds. It's another overtime between MOUZ and Complexity.
These two sides inseparable here, Trav. It has to be said. Once again, OT required, and even despite the heroics of Xerxin in the round prior, the penultimate one of the half with dropping Horzek's AWP and dropping that AK-47 in that hunt, it still doesn't make a difference. Oh, wow. I think for me, I have to look, and I don't want to be, you know, putting the blame on here, but Shuhei, it's 2 rounds in a row where he just goes a little bit too aggressive for my liking in towards second mid, and both times he dies getting absolutely nothing. It's not the way to fall. I think maybe a bit of pressure of the situation. He wants to be the one to, you know, quote unquote, make the difference, but unfortunately, he makes a difference just in the wrong way.
Now, as it is with Inferno, is kind of, you know, repeat the same round over and over again. It's on the take top mid, take banana, nade fight. What more do you have for us in overtime to change things up? Complexity, especially as they, of course, have to continue on that T side. You know, switching straight away. It's always hard to reinvent at this stage of the game. Exertion, maybe MOUZ can reinvent going for something a little bit extra aggressive. Yimpat, oh, he's caught a dink on Grim through the long smoke. That's so frustrating for Grim. Hasn't seen his enemy, but down to a sliver. And he's trying to maybe go a bit nearer to that, almost catches a bullet as well. 50 seconds, that library smoke will come in. Yimpat preparing the flash to either peek for himself or help his teammate. JT is up long. Exertion is next to that off angle on Arch, but he'll get deleted, and Elige does great work until Brolin appears again, and Grim is still so low, of course, on that 6 points of health. Shui gets his kills. There is the 2 we needed to see from him, and it's all down to Halzak. He's right above you, my friend. Brolin, what a brilliant bit of maneuverability there. And MOUZ will take 13.
Oh my, what a round. What a performance from Brolin in that one. Is this going to be exactly the same? Surely not. What we saw towards Vertigo, where MOUZ just can't find that round in regulation. They get it again. It's always the curse. They always, it's always the case, right? But surely Complexity, with how they delivered at the tail end of regulation, they're not going to let it go flawless again. We can't afford... I mean, even if it does go 3-0 for MOUZ, they're just so close to that finish line once again. That call of just too much pressure on their shoulders. And it does feel like as well, when we go towards overtime, we have that reset. It is also a mental reset for MOUZ, and I think they just sigh a bit of relief and say, okay, fine, we're not under the full pressure just yet. I'm trying to close this out. Maybe why they look like they just play a lot more comfortable, as we saw in that round.
I mean, Neo, you've hit the nail on the head. Shui didn't peak that time, and they won the round, and he got 2 kills. So maybe that was the answer. Maybe that was the change-up. Shui playing a little bit more defensively. And he did really, really well to get those 2 kills as well. Incendiary into top mid. Grim is forced away again, taking more damage without seeing a soul. Prodigy will try and peek ahead of that smoke, though, and his position will now be known. And look at this from MOUZ. Shui and Yimpat are double pushing at. Soppy should find one, does find one, but can't find Jimmy again. 4v4.
JT, how's your trigger discipline? How's your crosshair placement? It's Brolin that comes out on top. On top of the flash behind this, Halzak. I don't know, this is a weird one. We've got 30 seconds here to work with Trav. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And I do like this from MOUZ too. Let's just fall off. They're going to hear them. Surely this has got to drag over a rotation at some point. Yeah, it's now starting. Torji going to slowly move over, but it might actually be a little too late here. They're going to have to fight. Elige pulls out Yuto. Oh, Zersh and Brolin combine beautifully. It's delicate, but it's delectable. On towards this B side, and Halzak left with it all to do. Time ticking, and surely dead. It has to be said, and he might actually not even survive after time 2. He's being hunted from all sides, and he falls after time. Halzak's got $500 in his back pocket. He's broke.
In overtime.
He's broke, yeah, exactly.
He's bankrupt in overtime. Oh, when does that ever happen? That's so frustrating for Complexity. It's happening again. Overtime struggles. Beautiful hold from Exertion and Brolin once again, peeking off the back of each other. Yimpat gets that all-important, painful kill. They can get the AWP into play, but Halzak's gonna obviously can't buy Kevlar with it with that $500. You can't drop armor, ladies and gents. Maybe CS2 needs that, who knows? But he at least does get that AWP. It'll be so susceptible to nades, but if Torji goes peeking into him, he will deliver. 19th kill on the board, thanks to a little bit of an overface by his counterpart.
Impact. Oh. He knows there's one in towards that smoke. He heard a couple in towards balcony. He's actually in a bit of a perfect spot. Oh, and Halzak can't get the kill.
My God.
My, that is a really risky fight. Back into a 3 versus 4. Numbers still favor Complexity, of course, but this round's not completely off the card because Brolin is activating. That's 2. Looks for 3, and he'll deliver. JT, what have you got for us? He needs 3 of his own. The first is taken, but look at the damage that he receives in response.
Oh, Brolin, man, that is unbelievable. I really appreciate that from MOUZ. We have seen them struggle in retaking. Of course, we know it's Inferno. They don't want to let Cole get set up whatsoever. They go before they even have a chance to, and while the bomb is being planted, while a player is occupied with that plant, no guns drawn. That picture frame propped up in front of JT will not be spelling out a pretty picture right now. 18 health. 25 seconds. Brolin low from his heroics. 26 kills on the board now. And there is Exertion from Pit. It's a clean sweep in overtime again. It was on T side on Vertigo. It's now CT on Inferno. MOUZ are delivering when it matters.
Oh my God, what a round from Brolin. He is absolutely putting up sort of MVP heroics here in this matchup, isn't he? He is looking so good. His map number 2 has been all him. The Swede has found some serious success. An attack pause can be called by MOUZ, in fact, you know, a moment of respite, of course, before heading in towards their T side, and a moment for Cyclone to converse. This is the game plan. This is the round. This is what we're going to try and bring. Coming forward in Complexity on the brink of elimination, joining their fellow North American comrades of Liquid as just earlier against FaZe.
And don't forget, of course, Brolin was one of the players for MOUZ that had a particularly slow Pro League. We needed a bounce back, and you know what? We've damn got it. Shui's laughing, he's giggling, they're having a whale of a time right now.
Fine.
That is a great sign for MOUZ after their recent struggles. And they need one on T side to get this done and dusted and send Complexity back home.
Well, it's I'm going to say a relatively slow start, but actually Brolin is very quickly in towards apartments. Double nade over towards Boiler. Nobody there. So the decision hasn't been made for MOUZ what sort of play we're going for. The bomb not committed. It is in the direction of A roughly, but they're yet to show true banana presence. You see over towards Cole, we've got both Horzerk and Grim playing up close towards top banana. And as we say, Matt Exertion is going to try and move his way forward. He spots Horzerk, so he's not going to commit. He's going to dip back.
Complexity trying to do a little bit what MOUZ did on their CT side, just trying to play a bit more assertive top banana, keep control of it, and with Horzerk in that position, maybe they'll just keep him there and rotate over, but it's a great flash from JT to send Floppy in toward the apps. The Impact's lurk is removed, Elise stuck on Arch though, domed by Brolin again. And now they know with Long being taken, Floppy has to worry about that mostly. But we are creeping through Arch. 2 players are now joining up together. It could be a split B with 2 through CT and 2 through Banana. Horzerk needs to have his wits about him here. Needs the 1 kill to take the pressure off of Grim. Good jiggle from Grim, but what a swing! See you later, Horzerk. Grim has to take matters into his own hands, and he does find the 1, but it's only the 1. 3v2 for MOUZ. Site taken, bomb down. JT and Floppy are miles away. This could be it.
Surely, Trav, right? This has to be it. A 2 versus 3, and they're both behind a smoke. Oh my, what have we got? Smoke will be broken open by the nades. Brolin gonna be that first point of contact as well. What can he do for us? The flash is brilliant. And Xerxes just lines them both up as well. He had the angle, he had the delivery, and once again, MOUZ. It requires overtime, but it's flawless in overtime, and the cheers coming through from this side. They stay alive here at IEM Rio, but we bid farewell to Complexity.
What a game. What a game. Very enjoyable. Not going to be an enjoyable end for Complexity, unfortunately.